Two reasons, obviously. Last night, the curse endured. We did the 3-9 special and we lost again. Oh well, never mind. The squeeze today, it's quite notorious for one, this one. It's pure body weight, no kit required, just yourself. It can be quite intense. But there are ways to it, there are ways you can adapt it, certain exercise. Anyway, I'll go through all that shortly. Let's warm up first. Okay. Nice move. being squeezed. Okay? So, every minute on the minute, it's very low rate, you've got 3 movements to do. Okay? And each you can do 2 circuits, 2 large. And one other tip is try not to count. Just forget about it. Think about the next minutes in front of you, and that's it. If you start thinking, oh, I've got 10 left, and it blows my mind, don't think about it. Just think about the next one, and that's it. We'll start counting down when we get to the last few. Always let it go. Right, so this is what you're doing. Again, there are ways of adjusting these. So we're going to do 6 either broncos or donkey kicks. I'll show you the difference, and it depends on your ability, but also if you've got any knee issues or anything like that for that one. Then you're going to do 3 broad jumps, just sort of not massive broad jumps, depending on your space, and then 3 hand walkouts to press up. Every minute, it's only very low reps, 3 movements, low reps, get it all in. The rest of your minutes you rest. So at first you get quite a good, decent rest, but those rests do get tighter and tighter and tighter. Alright, so it looks like this. Broncos or donkey kicks. Donkey kicks first. Okay? 6 reps on this one. So you're in this sort of back roll position, point your toes, lift your knees, and you just squeeze the glute. 1, 2, 3. So when that one lifts, that knee stays where it is. We don't want this. Okay? Make sure it's there. Okay? 6 reps. Now, the alternative, the more advanced one, is the Broncos. Bronco kicks where you're kicking both legs up. Like, they don't need to be straight up, but as much lift as you can get. So you're a bit more tucked in, and it's up. 1, 2, 3. You're kicking your legs back quite a lot for that one. Okay, then exercise 2 is your broad jumps. 3 broad jumps, get yourself up. 1, turn, 2, 3. Okay, so you're just loading your hips. Okay, and then it's just there. Okay, and the last one is your handles. Press up. Again, just 3 reps. Okay, so wide, create space, wide hips, engage the glutes. Hands down, walk out. 1, back up, 2, 3. Okay, so 6, 3, 3. Okay, 15 minutes. Okay, let's do it then. So, forget about those first, counting those first few minutes. Just get yourself through it. Right. Minute 1 then. Here we go.
my little world, painful to me, pierce right through me. Can't you understand? Oh, my little girl, my wanted, but for me is here in my arms. Words are very unnecessary. They can only do harm. Enjoy the silence.
minutes, alright. Have a little breather. Moving on to our next one. Same template. 3 different exercises. Okay, so this time, all sits. But they're a rapid sit, should be. Now the third one is your burpee. Now that's the one that you may need to adjust. Okay, so you can adjust these reps. Okay, you can do 4 of each. Right? Okay, so 6. Player lunges. Now with any lunge, make sure you're keeping this alignment. Shoulder, hip, knee, toe. You never want to be in this space here, ever throughout the whole movement. Okay? That's like the floor is lava. Yeah, there's a rectangle that you're stood around. It's always the corner, the edges of the rectangle that you're working in. Anyway, so you're going to do player lunge, up. Okay? 6 of them. Okay? 1, 2. If you don't do player lunges, again, any knee problems like that, or you're new to this, just do 4 regular rear lunges. But get used to that look. You're on train tracks, remember. Slide the knee, drop the knee. So slide the foot, drop the knee. On the line, imaginary line that you're on. Not this. You've got to get out of this knee collapsing. Strong hips. There, maintaining strong hips. Okay, anyway, 4 of them. Then you're dropping in, 6 of them, or if you're doing the plyometric version, 4 if you're doing the steadier version. Push-ups. Again, you can change the reps if you need to. I'll be going for 6, so the drop in, okay, and do 6 push-ups. But I'd rather you do 4 quality than try and just do 6 head-banging things. Right, any day of the week, 4 proper ones is preferable to 6 naff ones. Okay, remember with your push-ups, that with your shoulders, just like if you're deadlifting, just like if you're doing rows, anything. Okay, engage the lats. That's the shape we want. You can see the difference. Look how much muscle is held in there, as opposed to this. Okay, get out of that, get into this. Alright, that's your push-ups. And then lastly, after you've done your 6 or 4 push-up, you're essentially going to another one for your burpees. Now to get 6 of them in as well, you have got to be rapid with your burpees, yeah? So on that last press up, then you drop again, and then it's burpee for 6 reps. Or 4, or 3, or whatever suits you. Okay, you will have to play with the rep range a little bit on this one. Okay? So do it to suit. Equally though, don't do just 2, 4 of each and then add 40 minutes, 40 seconds to spare. Okay? You're looking at about 30 seconds to 20 seconds. Rest is what you really want on each minute, okay? Right then, here we go. Once we've done this, we've got a finishing challenge. It's a different kind of squeeze. We're squeezing and holding the arms, so no cardio after this. Okay. Sorry, sweat. Right, okay, there we go. 3, 2.
yourself, so I didn't win a lot. You're the silver, so hard cooking, south of the river. Mouth on the beat, sitting cans for the liquor. Sweet life, because feel it in my blood. English lips and our lives burn dim on the hard cooking, south of the river. Mouth on the beat, sitting cans for the liquor. Sweet life, because feel it in my blood. English lips and our lives burn dim on the 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 lives.
breaks, and we sticks, and we dates, till we hates, and we find another mate. So get it straight, if you ain't, then you miss your chance to buzz. I wanna flip it, dip it, and ride with this, ride with this. I gotta flip it, gotta dip it, I'm gonna make you want it, but you want it dance floor. Let's do this shakedown. I got great sound. I gotta make you flip it, dip it, do it on a dance floor.
There are perhaps some harder toe fitness classes, but very few are harder psychologically than that one. That one is really intense. Wind down on that one, right? The good news is you've got a visual of abs. This time we're squeezing abs. Okay, so toe touch and both twists. Hold 10. So the good news, you're only doing 10 reps on each of these two exercises. The bad news, every rep is 10 seconds long. Okay? And you're going to squeeze the abs, which is a great way of working the abs, because the abs are cool, as people call it. The main job is to restrict movement, to hold, as opposed to create movement. Okay, obviously it does create movement, but more so than any other muscle group, it's to hold and protect the spine. So that's why squeeze and holding the abs work so well. So, toe touches first. The whole time you're trying to keep your legs over 90 degrees. Rest my hands on the floor, and then squeeze as high as I can. I can reach my toes even better. 10 seconds, squeeze the abs. Squeeze, lift, then back down. 3, 2, 1. Back up high as you can. Want to squeeze the abs and lift your fingertips. Okay, then the second one, we'll have a little rest. And this one from memory is vile. Little twist, little boat twist. Okay, so this time we're going 10 seconds, out to the side, 10 seconds, hands that side. 10 seconds. Okay, see if you can last for the full 10 minutes. Right, that's it. It is quite simple, really. Toe touches, boat twists. 10 seconds on each. Right, let's do it then. Right, toe touches first then. 10 reps. Okay. 3,
That means can't so high from ride. It's got a really low, give him a heart. Second force go, don't wake him up. Oh shit, coming up. You start being with that. Stupid. You know so far from the video. Be a joke, real fool. Smoking niggas, taking the
Thanks for subscribing and seriously well done if you got through that on your own, in your own home. My God, you deserve some respect. Well done. See you